The Multiswing 2G is a versatile motorized arm that can be mounted on an electric wheelchair. This arm is designed to mount and support a chin control system, but it can also be used for a small and lightweight communication tool such as a smartphone or tablet. The maximum weight for these devices is 1 kilo at a maximum distance of 55 centimeters. The Multiswing can move horizontally or vertically depending on the installation method and the parameter settings. It's fully adjustable to the needs and capabilities of the user due to well-thought-out electronics. The Multiswing can be attached to the rear of the backrest of any wheelchair with a 24-volt power system. The same arm can be used for installation on the left or right side of the wheelchair, and it consists of 3 components: the arm, the motor unit, and the adapter set. The joint arm assembly with all its accessories ensures that the joystick or device can be positioned in an ideal place for the user. The motor unit is powered by the electric wheelchair. With the push of a button, it can rotate the arm away from or towards the user. The motor unit has multiple connections. With a red stereo input, you can move the arm and operate 1 or 2 other outputs. By using a splitter, you can also connect 2 switches. This can be a standard normally open switch or a Twister Pro. To the green and yellow mono output, you can link a function of the wheelchair or an external device. The motor unit also has a USB-C input to make the connection with a PC for the software configuration, and a LED light that shows the status of the device. To install the Multiswing on the back of the wheelchair, you can choose to design your own mounting system. But if you are looking for a more convenient setup, then you can use one of the installation bundles mo-vis provides. If your customer has a wheelchair with a rail system at the back, use the Multiswing 2G bundle rail. This bundle consists of the Multiswing and the bracket set rail. The concept for installing this bundle rail is similar to the installation instructions that will follow in this video. For the specific installation of the bundle rail, both horizontally and vertically, we refer to the installation manual. If your customer has a wheelchair with a round tube on the backrest, then use the Multiswing 2G bundle quick to mount. In addition to the Multiswing, this bundle also includes the mounting set quick to mount, a mounting set which consists of a universal clamp, a dog bone adapter, a quick to mount dog bone slide-in, and a dog bone extension. In this video, you will get all the instructions on how to assemble the arm and motor, how to mount it on the wheelchair with the quick to mount mounting set, and how to configure the software. While unpacking the different items, always check whether the device isn't bent or damaged. Also verify if the housing, cabling, and connectors are intact. Before starting off with the installation, we recommend setting up an installation plan based on the needs and capabilities of the user. Decide on how you want to place the motor unit, left or right, and for a horizontal or vertical movement. Define how far the arm should open and which device you want to attach to it. A micro, multi, or all-round joystick, a smartphone or lightweight tablet, or a cup holder are common options. In this video, we focus on mounting the Multiswing on the right side of the wheelchair with horizontal movement and a multi-joystick attached to it. When making other choices, such as installing the arm on the left side of the wheelchair for vertical movement with a smartphone attached to it, be sure to specify the right parameters in the software. How you do that will be discussed later on in this video in the section about software configuration. Once you have decided how to install the motor unit, connect a normally open button like the mo-vis twister to the red jack of the motor unit. Then, connect the motor unit to the wheelchair with the power cable. Finally, connect the motor unit to the configurator. Adjust the open angle and mounting parameters if necessary. This will also be discussed later on in this video in the section about software configuration. Now, move the arm to its end stop. A first push on the button will close the arm as long as you press the button or until it reaches its end stop. A second push on the button will open the arm as long as you press the button or until it reaches its maximum open angle. Before moving on to the next step, make sure that the arm is at its end stop. Please note that this is a very important step, as the arm is most stable at its end stop. If you continue the installation without paying attention to the end stop, the result of your installation will be less stable. Continue by installing the adapter set, which makes the connection between the arm and the motor unit. Place the adapter set onto the motor unit at the end stop position. Secure it into the slots in a way it fits the optimal position for the user. Please note that this is still a preliminary fitting. Don't over-tighten the screws, as you might have to change the position later on. After installing the adapter set, you can put together the different components of the arm. First, remove the plastic cable covers. Then connect the two parts and adjust the angle of the arm by loosening the bolt on the inside of the extrusion part. The end and middle joint can be moved in steps of 15 degrees. Now it's time to slide the arm into the adapter set. Align the joint push plate with the side of the adapter set to make sure that the arm is firm inside the adapter. This way, you can tighten it further without causing damage. Check visually how you want to place the arm for the end user. The biggest parts of the multi-swing are now assembled. You can continue by mounting the motor unit on the back side of the wheelchair. Check if the wheelchair is in its normal position for the user and place the universal clamp on the right side of the wheelchair. Make sure the insert for the square bracket is on the outside of the wheelchair and secure it firmly. Next, place and secure the dog bone slide-in the universal clamp and the dog bone extension onto the dog bone slide-in, depending on how you want to place the motor unit. Then, attach the dog bone adapter to the motor unit and mount it on the dog bone. Please pay extra attention to the position of the motor unit while installing it for vertical movement. Mount it on the dog bone in a 90 degrees angle. This way the jacks are positioned underneath the motor block and are protected as much as possible from water entering. Last but not least, install the device, in this case the multi-joystick, on the arm. Try to take into account the specific needs of your customer, like position and height, as much as possible. Use the multi-joystick chin control adapter set, which consists of the multi-joint and the angled rod. You can lead the joystick cable and possible cables of switches through the extrusion. Remove the adapter set again and guide the cables through. Slide the arm through the adapter set again . Place the push plate and tighten firmly now. For the installation of other mo-vis joysticks, we refer to the accessories section in the installation manual. Now, further tweaking of the multi-swing might be necessary. Make sure that you find a robust and reliable position and that the user can operate both the arm and the mounted device to his needs. If you have found an optimal position for the user, tighten all the screws to make a stable construction. It's possible that you want to shorten the arm. You can do so with a hacksaw. Make sure you place the end cap back on the arm afterwards. The multi-swing movement, speed, angle and connections are fully adjustable with the mo-vis configurator software. Create an account on our website to download the software. You can choose your own password and use it to log in into the configurator software, where you can set up the parameters of the device. For all details on how to install the software, we refer to the configurator software manual, which you can find in your account. Connect the device to a PC by using a standard USB-C to USB cable. Open the mo-vis configurator software. Click on the Connect icon and your device will pop up in the toolbar on the left. And then select Parameters. Via the panel in the middle of your screen, you can configure several parameter settings. Don't forget to save your settings in time. While you can immediately test your settings, they will be lost if you don't save them into the device before disconnecting. In the software, you can configure several mounting settings. Choose how far the arm will open via Open Angle. The arm will automatically come to a stop when that angle is reached. By default, the multi-swing is set to be installed at the right side of the wheelchair and placed for a horizontal movement of the arm. If the multi-swing is positioned in another way, you have to change this parameter via mounting. There are also lots of possibilities for the input settings. By default, we assume that you will use a normal open button, like the mo-vis twister. However, it's also possible to connect a Twister Pro and use its safety switch functionality. In this case, specify it in the switch type parameter. In the mo-vis configurator software, you also have to link the desired actions to the different outputs. You can choose a direct action, which is performed from the moment the input button is pressed until the button is released. With the option Open or Close Arm Momentary, the arm will open or close as long as you hold the button. When you release the button, the arm stops immediately. With Open Close Arm Momentary, the arm will open as long as you hold the button. When you release the button, the arm stops immediately. When you hold the button again, the arm will close and stop immediately when you release the button. If you choose Operate Output Green or Operate Output Yellow, the selected output will be active as long as you hold the button. When you release the button, it becomes inactive. Besides a direct action, you can also choose to set up a short, medium, or long press action. Do note that you either use a direct action or a combination of a short, medium, and long press. When a direct action is configured, the short, medium, and long actions are ignored. If you work with a short, medium, and long press, you can customize the input timers. When you hold the button for a time shorter than the short timer value, the short press action will be executed. When you hold the button for a time longer than the long time value, the long press action will be executed. There is no parameter medium timer. When you hold the button longer than the short timer value but shorter than the long timer value, the medium press will be executed. The debounce timer can be used for tremor damping, as it reduces the effects of a user's hand tremor. You have to hold the input button longer than the debounce timer before it is seen as an input. After you have customized the input timers, you can link certain actions to the different presses. There are several options to choose from for the short press action. With open arm to end, the arm will automatically move to the end. If you select close arm to beginning, the arm will automatically move to the beginning. With open or close arm to end or beginning, the arm will automatically move to the end. After the next short press, the arm will automatically move to the beginning. With the option output yellow timed or output green timed, the output will be closed for a set time. How to further configure this will be discussed later on with the output settings. With output yellow switched or output green switched, the output acts as a switch. After a short press, the output will open. After the next short press, the output will close again. These same actions can be directed to a medium or long press. But for the long press, you can choose 3 additional settings. In general, the power module of the electric wheelchair contains Inhibit connections. These connections can be used to limit speed, inhibit drive, or inhibit actuator channels. It can be interesting to program an Inhibit when the arm is not in the home position. If you want the Inhibit of your wheelchair to be active as soon as the arm is opened wider than the Inhibit home angle, then you have to make the connection between one of the outputs and the Inhibit of the power module of the wheelchair. You can adjust the value of the Inhibit home angle in the software. Then, when the arm is opened wider than the Inhibit home angle, the user cannot drive the wheelchair. When you have selected output green timed or output yellow timed for your short, medium and long press action, you can configure it here in the output settings. The output action timer indicates how long the output will be active. For example, when this output is an alarm and you set the value to 2 seconds, it will be on for this long. Via the auditive feedback setting, you can choose to hear a beep or not when the timer of the button action is expired. You can also enable a beep when there is an error or warning. You can find an overview of the error codes in the installation manual. Finally, you can also customize several motor settings. The arm does not start its movement at full speed. Instead, the motor starts up slowly and accelerates until it reaches its final speed. With the acceleration parameter, you can set how fast the arm will reach its highest speed. The smaller this percentage, the lower the acceleration will be. With the motor force parameter, you can set the torque of the motor. The more powerful, the heavier the load that can be lifted. Keep in mind that with a heavier device, the arm can stall if the torque is set too low. At mo-vis, the safety of the user is our #1 priority. In emergency situations, the parameter settings are overruled and some predefined safety measures come into effect. If the arm encounters an obstruction, it will stop immediately. The arm can also be pulled away manually in one go without damaging the motor unit. After installation of the device and adjusting the software settings, execute the following tests before the wheelchair is put into service. Check whether the arm is moving in accordance with the personalized settings. Make sure the arm can move freely without hindering any wheelchair item or cable. Also make sure the arm can move without hindering a person in the wheelchair and all cables can move freely while being securely attached. If necessary, adjust the positioning of the arm and device and secure functioning. check if all screws are tightened firmly. During the first usage by the end user, we advise that the dealer or service engineer assists and explains the different possibilities to the user and his attendant. The dealer can make some final adjustments if necessary. Under regular circumstances of use, the device and the different parts don't require additional maintenance by a service engineer. However, all parts of the device should be cleaned on a regular basis, as dust and dirt could lead to reduced functionality. Gently remove dust and dirt with a damp cloth and use only non-aggressive disinfectant cleaning agents. We do recommend a monthly inspection by the user or attendant. Hereby verify whether all bolts and screws are still firmly tightened. Also check if there's no damage to any wiring and no excessive wear to any of the parts. We advise to have a full checkup of the wheelchair and its operating systems by a qualified service engineer at least once a year. We hope the installation of the multi-swing goes fast and easily after viewing this video. You can find all product information and additional installation manuals on our website. Please contact your dealer in case of technical problems. If your dealer isn't available or unknown, you can contact mo-vis by telephone or email. Always state the product code and device serial number to ensure you are provided with the correct information.